Well, it's time for Sports on Pulse. My name is Abigail Senasis. So as the day is marked, we are still celebrating women, and we'll do same for our women in sports. With me is a seasoned sports journalist, Madam Roselyn. At least that's how she wants me to acknowledge her just for today. But I tell you what, she's one woman that I have come to respect so much in this job, and I and my crew today choose to celebrate her as we mark the day for women. She's an encyclopedia for sports, especially when it has to do with the women, and I'm privileged to have her today as we mark. It's not such a wonderful day for women. Madam Roselyn, thank you very much for
Thanks for
coming.
having me. You are making me shed a few tears.
But it's an honor to always speak to you.
I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful for you bringing me here today.
So for some of us that don't really know who she is, she's one woman that has risen through the ranks and is now the vice chairperson of the Women's League Board, meaning everything women, everything like in sports. She just has it, and you should know her, you should get close to her. But today, we would also want you to tell us whom you would want to celebrate as we choose to celebrate you today.
Quite a number of names come up. I would start with Mesitego Kwaku, simply because of what she's been through, what she has stood for. She started as a player in those days. Her parents didn't want her to play football. She had to sneak in and out. Sometimes she would wear her uniform and pack her bag and send it ahead to Kumasi. After playing the last World Cup in 1999, she decided to get married. She had kids. She lost a child. She didn't give up, but I think she found strength in that loss. With the support of her husband, she decided to become a referee. She became a very successful referee, handled a World Cup final as a fourth referee. And after that, she thought that she still had something to give to women's football, and she's now the coach. At her very first attempt, she has won the WAFU Women's Cup. So I think that we need to celebrate her. Beyond that, I would also want to celebrate Margaret Simpson Semenya. Not many people remember her, but she was one woman who has held athletics together when at a point we didn't have a lot of female athletes to celebrate. The heptathlete queen, I call her. She went and won bronze at the 2006 World Championship in Helsinki. I remember her for one thing, because of the way she looked, because of the training. Her physique, people used to call her man woman, and people used to laugh at her. But proudly today, she's not just a successful athlete, but she's also a mother of 3, and I choose to celebrate her. Beyond that, I would want to celebrate another woman I didn't meet during her prime, but I met when she had retired from athletics, Alice Anum. She's based in the US, but if anybody knows about the flying queen in the 1970s and the early 1980s, that was the woman who held Ghana athletics high when it came to international competitions. I celebrate all of them, and posthumously, Madame Theodiosa Okun. She's one of the reasons why I am still here. My very first encounter with her was in 1996, when I had just started off. And she told me, if you are humble, if you are ready to learn, if you stay the course, if you do not allow yourself to be pushed over and bullied, you can make it. It is a dominant men's world, but you can prove your worth. And I think that as the years rolled by, she always encouraged me. She always called me. She was one of the first people who would call me to critique my story if I did a good one, or critically correct me if I did a bad story. And I have gotten to this point. So I salute all of them, and all my young girls, all the young girls who are striving to make it in sports, not just in women's football. Abigail, sports in Ghana is still a man's world. You need to stay the course. You need to push through to make it. And it's not easy, because sometimes you don't get anybody to support you. People think that comparatively a male would do better than a woman, and so instead of supporting a female, they would want to support a male. And yet all these young girls would always come and train.
Unfortunately, the notion is we all end up in the kitchen and at home. So.
Well, that is what everybody thinks, that, I mean, women's place is always in the kitchen. But I think that in this 21st century, we have shown and proved, not by words, but by deeds, that what men can do, if given the chance and the opportunity, we can also do it. And I celebrate all of them.
So here you have it. This is the reason I would want to celebrate Madame Roselyn Amo. She just didn't talk about football. I thought she was just going to stay with women football, but she's given us some insight in athletics as well. But finally, the draw for the Under-20 World Cup was held earlier this morning. Did you see Ghana in Group A with France?
It's exciting. People are scared, but I think it is exciting because this could be our year. This could be our chance. I don't see why people should be scared. 2 years ago, without very good preparation, we went to Papua New Guinea. We held France to a 2-2 draw. We lost 1-0 to New Zealand under very bizarre circumstances. And then we held USA to 1-1 draw. And we missed out on the next round. But I think that if we are given very good preparation, we should be able to have a good competition. It is a very good draw for us compared to the other groups. You don't know what everybody is bringing on board. But I think that if the girls are given good preparation, they will just make Ghana.
So here we are in a group with France and New Zealand again.
We are opening the competition with France.
Yeah.
And people are scared, but I say that, look, I'm excited.
It looks like that walloping of our queens still scares people.
Well, that is what, but you know that friendly matches are different from qualifiers and tournaments.
Sure.
And I think that it is only those who did not prepare well for tournaments who suffer. If you get good preparation and you have a positive vibe, and sometimes luck also counts, because you can play all the good football, you know, but you will just be unlucky on that day. But this year, something tells me that we are just going to make Ghana proud.
And then you touched on about preparations. Now that we know where we are going to be, we know the countries we are going to face. Anything in line for our preparations?
Well, I spoke to Coach Basigi a couple of minutes after the draw, and he said he had already started working, because you know that the draw brought together all the 16 teams that have qualified. So now that you know who you are going to play, you can plan and arrange international friendlies. Most of them will be based around France, England, and Germany to prepare. So it would also be a good time to secure some international friendlies. The problem has not been the securing of the friendlies for Ghana. It has always been the funding to allow the team to camp outside Ghana for those long periods. So if we are committed to seeing the Princesses go beyond the first round for the first time, then as a nation, we should also be ready to spend more money to get them prepared very well.
Going beyond the first round the first time in Group A, possible?
Why not, Abigail? I am an optimist, and I think that, I don't know why, but I have something that strongly tells me that this crop of girls are exciting to watch.
Yes.
They have the World Cup experience at the
Given
under
that
17.
they graduated from under 17.
So they have tasted the under 17 before. Some of them even played in the under 20 at Papua New Guinea. So I'm sure that experience will ginger them to give off their best, because they can't always go to the World Cup and exit at the first round.
So there we have it, Ghana in Group A with host nation France. But like she said, on a special day like this, we can only make a humble plea to the ministry that when we come to you for monies for our preparations, please help us at least. We made it on a special day, so kindly honor that for us. Madam Roselyn, thank you very much. We'll come back to you as the tournament draws closer. We are most grateful for your contribution, and we'll still continue to celebrate.
And I also want to use this opportunity to thank you and say kudos to all the young ladies who have joined the sports fraternity. You all admit it's not an easy job, especially on weekends when your friends are having their social activities and social life. You have to sacrifice for sports because of the love of it. I say kudos, and let's all do well to stay the course. Importantly, let us hold our heads high above reproach with dignity and with pride, so that maybe 20 years from now, somebody else will be celebrating us too.
No, okay. So thank you very much, and that'll be all for sports. My name is Abigail Senasusu.